A component is a reusable element used across your web application. You can find different granularity and complexity in components. You can have smaller ones like buttons and inputs, and you can have more complex ones like accordions or tabs. And complex ones can even be made up of smaller components. So pretty much anything can be made as a reusable component. So let's dive into why you should use them in your project. The first point is consistency in user experience. That falls into two categories. First, the style of your components or how it looks. In WeWeb, you have access to basic components. So if you go to the Add panel, to the basic tabs, you have a bunch of them. If you drag them into your page, you will have a default styling applied to them. Then you can make modifications to your elements, but every time that you import or you drop a basic element, then you will have to make those modifications again. But with reusable components, you can define those styles once, and every time that you use that component, everything will be set and ready to go. The second point is consistency in behavior or how your component functions. You can set logic inside of your components. For instance, you can trigger a notification workflow or set a specific variable when something happens. And those workflows can be quite complex and long to build with lots of actions. And by building them into your component, you make sure that every component, every instance of your components behaves the same. So all in all, you make the decisions once and don't have to think about it again. The second point is encapsulation. Sometimes the component requires variables and workflows to work. For an input, for instance, you would expose a variable to use in form submit. If you are building an accordion, you'd have a workflow to show and hide the contents. But by building a component, all of these elements to make the logic work is scoped inside of your component. So that makes it way easier to target the right thing and make the whole project cleaner. And my favorite point is about making the developer's job easier and allowing them to develop faster. Thanks to all of those previous points, you can centralize all of your component efforts in one place, meaning that if you want to make a modification later on your project, you only need to make it once, and that will propagate to all of the instances. So those were the benefits of using components. They help you achieve consistency, maintain a cleaner project, and overall, let you build faster. Next, we'll see how to create one for your web application.